study by maybe chilling out, maybe like on some pillows and stuff, and then maybe have some classical music on really low, stuff like that. The classical music helps me think. I don't know why, because like sometimes when it's like completely quiet in the room, I for some reason cannot concentrate. I just look around like, where's there gonna be noise or something like that. There has to be at least a low murmur in the room.
I like to use the internet, it helps me out. A lot of times it's hard to find the information, but they have a lot of different ways to do it, so you kind of get more into it than just reading it out of a book thinking, okay, it tells me this, it tells me why, but it's not really interesting. You need to find different ways to do stuff on the internet.
I like to study with a group of friends because we can express our ideas together and in a comfortable environment, not surrounded by my room, just in silence. And if there's music, it helps me more rather than silence, because silence is uncomfortable. And that's how I like to study.
Like I'm doing math and stuff, I'll usually turn on my radio or my TV and kind of do my math homework and watch a little bit of TV now and then too. So it's not like completely dead quiet and not like nothing going on.
I personally I like studying outside, more calm for me. Or listen to music. It keeps me, calm, concentrated. But or I like studying, watching TV. That's just me. I prefer also studying with other people. I don't like being by myself studying.
If you're doing it in groups, it's funner because there's people that can help you. So if you get stuck, you're like, there's someone helping you out there.
In school, I like to study with my friends, kind of, them, call out with them, see how they study. That's how I like to do it out there in a group, kind of, I would like to say. Because sometimes when it's one-on-one, for me, doesn't really help me as much.
I'm more of a visual learner. I can sit and listen to a lecture for, 35 minutes or an entire class period, and maybe I won't understand everything, but when I can look at a book or look at the diagrams inside the book and see exactly what is being taught in the chapter, I can usually remember things a lot better.
I have the new Nintendo DS, and those are fun because they have the Picto chats on it, and so I'll be in my room, my sister will be upstairs, and we can write to each other, and you'll get it back and forth.
I'm familiar with the roller coaster tycoon, something that kids could learn about business maybe in a more fun way or something.
Mainly, a strategy game. You got to know your limit. You don't want to get like 10 roller coasters because you'd be wasting a whole bunch of money. When you got to limit your money, I learned what I should limit it to, and know that you don't want to overprice stuff and stuff. So that helps me learn about money and math.
Email, because I can email my friends in Amarillo because I moved, and so I can still stay in touch with them. The house phone, so you can just talk to your friends and stuff. And even though I don't have a cell phone and I want one, it's easy to communicate. It's fun to communicate with each other.
With that, we use, the computers to help us find our research, and that's what we mostly did.
Stuff like one day the projector turns on and the words, they flip around before they turn on and everything, and she goes, I don't think this is working right. And we're like, it's gonna flip around and it'll be okay. It's gonna be okay. Don't freak out on us. It's gonna be okay. So.
Well, I like things associated with technology, like PowerPoints, movie makers, lots of different things on the computer.
But I like to kind of make PowerPoints, things like that, about things I like, and add in little sounds to them and animations, pictures, and then play chess.
Grade. My teacher, she made sort of a quiz as a game show on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and she would make Jeopardy, and she would do. It was just so much fun, and we learned so much, and then we get 90s or A's on the tests the next day, and we raise our hands, and then we could call a friend, call another class or something quasi-science teacher or something like that. So I really liked that. It was a whole group thing.
If I can't find a calculator, I'll use my mom's cell phone to use her calculator on it. Our math teacher even mentioned that one day. She was like, yeah, and there's a calculator on most cell phones. And I was like, yeah, I know that, but my mom doesn't know that. Because she's like, how do you do text messaging? How do you do this? I'm like, well, here's how you do it.
In 4th grade, our whole class raised up mealworms and turned them into beetles and stuff. And then so my teacher asked me if I could make a photo story for the process of the life of a mealworm for the next year students in 4th grade.
Technology is the future, and I think it's going to be a big part of learning.
Science and stuff, I like been doing labs and stuff with people because you can learn and you learn like how you're doing it, and not when a teacher's up there doing it in front of you, you're like, okay, that's how you did it, and you don't understand something, you can't always get it answered, but if you're doing it yourself, you answered it and you can figure out how it works.
I think like building, because I like building.
And working with groups, or sometimes working by yourself, just teacher talking to you and following you through and helping you out.
I definitely like projects that you have to get in the community and do stuff like that. Like, I'm not a big research paper kind of project fan, but I like projects that get you interacted with the community and stuff like that.
They would put us in groups with our friends, so we can, it helps us learn a little better, because she thinks when we're in groups with our friends that we can focus a little bit more than usual.
Mainly the hands-on stuff, because sometimes if you're just in a group and it's kind of a quiet activity and then you do it and then you talk to your group, sometimes you'll have different opinions on things, and then if it's hands-on and you're doing something together, it kind of helps better because you're all doing something and you're interacting with each other, and your thoughts are they're better than some of the things that you do.
Kind of like a science project. If you do something, we did an apple mummification project, and we used baking soda and bleach and things like that and salt to kind of mummify it, and then we're checking it out after Christmas break. That was kind of fun, and I learned how they did it, why they did it, and things like that.
I'd say also I like group activities just because interacting, like I said earlier. But also I feel like sometimes a lot of homeworks I feel like they help me a lot because it helps me apply what I've learned and stuff like that.
I just wish teachers would say, as long as you don't get up and you raise your hand and you follow pretty much the basic rules and you learn and do your work, you can lie on the floor, turn on some music or anything like that would comfort you or something like that. That's what I wish.
Hands-on experiments are always good, especially in science or mathematics, things like that, where you can apply what you've learned into real-life situations and you're not just looking at it on a page.
This year, one of my teachers, she wanted us to bring a song, and we were supposed to figure out the main idea and what was wrong with the song and what were they trying to say, what they're trying to bring out to the audience. So I like that.
I wish they knew that we do it differently than they do, that we do like to learn, but in our own way, and we could do what they want us to do, but also make it fun. That we could be where we want to be and still learn the material